Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week topic, which is about skipping the bank. Everybody wants to know now about where to get more money for real estate, because let's face it, with what is going on out there, with how financing the banks are being a little tighter right now, the interest rates are high, and also to exponentially grow your real estate business, you need to learn something very strategic, which is how to tap into private money. But what do we mean about private money? What is private money exactly? It's such a broad term when it comes to financing, because a lot of the time when people think of private money, they might confuse it with hard money. They might confuse it with money partnerships and so forth. So we're going to dive deep into the different type of private money that's out there, and how you can definitely skip the bank with your own financing. Because once you know how to tap into this money, it's like having a blank checkbook, honestly. Now, the sky's the limit. You can buy any type of real estate. You don't have to wait. You don't have to go into like wholesaling where you have to time everything. No, you can say, I can close in 3 days. I can close as soon as the title comes back. So, how many here would love to be able to do that? To be in a position where you can do that? I would love for you to share in the chat, about that. Okay. So, with that said, let's go. We also share the PDF with you beginning of the week. So make sure you download the PDF as well. If you have had another chance, you can go back and look for it. If you don't have a chance, please comment here, and with somebody from the team will reach out to you with the PDF. Okay. So we're going to talk about more specific of what is private financing, where you can find the money, because everybody talks about private, creative financing, and so forth. But where is the money, right? We're going to talk about that today as well. And but one of the things you have to understand is when you go out there and present yourself as an investor and you want to raise money, you have to see from the other person or the lender point of view, right? They're investing in you. They're investing in the asset. They're investing on the possibility of the return. So if they believe you, trust you, and if they believe in the asset, this is where you invest. And I want to share with you my own story on how I did this. Okay, so that would be the best way for me to really present to you is how I personally got into private money. So one of the things I did is back in 2001. So I started in real estate back in the 80s. I started in 87. I was a real estate broker. Then I went and started buying rental properties in 91 using other people's money, meaning using a combination of contract for deed, subject to owner financing, lease options, and so forth, because I was not in a position to be able to just walk in the bank and get a loan. So I came from that perspective. I didn't have a job. I had very little credit. I had some money from my brokerage days, but not enough to buy real estate more than maybe a property. So I had to really leverage things and be creative. So the first thing I did is really educated myself on creative financing. Any book, anything I could come across, we're talking the 80s and 90s, guys, there was no internet. So any book or anything I came across that had no money down, nothing down, creative financing, I was devouring that information. And so that's the first thing I did. Okay, so I devoured information. And then the second most important thing I did is went out there and took action. So in 91, I started buying rental properties. Within about a year and a half, I had over 40 doors, 16 buildings. I count doors, meaning if it's a duplex, it's 2 doors, 4 families, 4 doors, and so forth. So I had accumulated quite a good portfolio in a year and a half, about $10,000 in passive income. I also stumbled into other things like fix and flips. I stumbled into what nowadays they call wholesaling, which back then was called flipping a contract. But I kind of hit the ceiling there in a few years because obviously I wanted to grow my rental business, and I realized, and also the fix and flip. I wanted to fix property, but I didn't want to go through hard money because back in the 90s, hard money was 15 to 17% interest, plus a ton of junk fees. So at the end of the day, they were making more money than I was. Okay, so I really hated that. So what I did is I started getting some of my buyers from wholesaling, my cash buyers, to actually work with me and partner with me to do deals together, like fix and flips. So now let's fast forward to 2001, and I'm going to share with you some of the ways here. So really important now, pay close attention, write this down. So if you're doing anything else, you really want to focus this part right here, because this is what I call my golden nugget. As a lot of you know, this is my favorite quote. I say golden nugget when you need to pay attention. So, but this is how I got people to really give me the money. So I hosted a meeting. I called a meeting of the minds. I got people to come and see me on a presentation. And I said to them, look, they says I need more money so I can buy real estate. I gave him samples of deals I had done over the last few years, through wholesaling, some fix and flips, not as many as I would have liked, but I did some. And I was like, I like to do more of this. So how did I find these people? Well, first of all, it was through word of mouth. So I talked to title companies. I talked to mortgage broker. I talked to real estate brokers, people I knew. And I said, anybody that you know that has the money, bring them to me. Let them know that I'm having this special meeting. Okay. So people invited them to do it. So word of mouth, real estate agents, title company, real estate brokers, other investors. Okay. So that was the thing, how I did it. And so you sent out about 60 invitations that night. And this was in July of 2001. And I got 25 to actually come to the meeting. And then out of 25, I got 6 that night to really say, okay, we're going to give you the money and invest with you. Okay. And this is one place you can find them. The other one you can is definitely people that you know, that you work with, right? So that's something that you can, that's more like a money partnership. We're going to get that in a second. Then the other thing you can go is investment forums, like Connected Investors, Bigger Pockets, social media group like Facebook, LinkedIn. And then, but anybody you talk to that is willing to give you money, especially if it's an institutional private lender, which is kind of borderline as a hard money lender, make sure you check them out. Look at the Better Business Bureau. You look at who they're affiliated with. Check their reviews on Google. Make sure they're legit. Because I want to give you a word of warning here. There's a lot of scam artists. There's a lot of people that will say, oh, give me $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 application. We'll sure get you the loan, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, they take your money and run. I know people that have lost thousands of dollars to these scam artists. They'll go in for a month. They'll do business under this company. They even open a website under their name. A month later, you go to look for what's going on. This website is down, the name is gone, and they're gone with your money and a lot of other people. And now they're going to open another website name, right? So be careful being sucked into that. So if anybody asks up front for money to do anything besides just maybe a credit report, be very careful. Don't pay any quote unquote application fees. Now, money partnership could be, again, word of mouth, friends and families, clients and business contacts, other investors, also professional networks. Remember, who was the one I went to ask, to refer people to me that had the money? Well, real estate agents, mortgage broker, title companies, think about it. They know who has the money. They know who goes to the closing table and has cash. You know who fill out the financial statement and have money in the bank, right? So they know. They might not tell you, they might not divulge you, which they shouldn't, privacy. But the thing is, there's nothing wrong with them saying to this person that they know has the money, hey, you should check out this opportunity, about investing in real estate. And what's in for these people? What's in for the real estate agents, mortgage brokers, and title company? Well, I bring in more business. Now, be careful. You cannot give kickbacks, as they call it. That's illegal. But, bringing in more business and doing a strategic alliance with them is great. Some of them I partnered with. One of the mortgage brokers, she'll say, okay, come in, we run this situation together. You help me with, checking up scope of work and different type of things within my business, right? And then go to RIAs. There are real estate conferences. There is a couple of big ones here nationwide. One is in New York every year about private lenders. Another one I think is in Vegas. They call I think it's the Pitbull Conference. So there are conferences out there about money. Just go there. Beside the people that have the booths, all the people in the room are like you, looking for money or have the money, right? They're looking for more information. Also, crowdfunding platforms. There are really good crowdfunding platforms out there, like Fundrise or Fund My Flip, that you can also ask for money to help you in funding your real estate deals. I like Fund My Flip, for example, is a really good platform for, especially for smaller investors. But if there is a will, there is a way, right? So to do that, and the first thing is probably for a lot of you that are brand new in the business, you might have to build up your resume as a real estate investor, right? I said, okay, but I have no experience, I have no money, I've never done a deal. Can I use money partners? You might have to go with a more private money or a hard money lender, somebody that's more institutionalized in the beginning. So that's probably what you have to do. So first year or two, but that's okay because it's going to build up your resume, and then you can start approaching more money partnerships or private lenders, because they basically want to say, do you have experience, even if it's a family member or even if it's somebody you work with, right? At the end of the day, they want to see, do you have the experience, have you done anything, so forth. So to have done maybe a couple of deals. Also, if you are open to wholesaling, you can do some wholesale deals. When you've done anywhere from 3 to 5 deals, they qualify you more as quote unquote experienced investor, so they'll be more willing to loan out to you. Okay, so because you build up your resume, and then remember what I told you, how I did that. So I was wholesaling, and in the course of wholesaling, I ran across, I had buyers, and I knew some of his were cash buyers and had the money. You get to know them. Maybe they have savings, they had retirement accounts. One guy's had money that he got from an insurance for an accident he was into. So these people had the money. So I said to them, okay, why don't we invest together? I know how to find the property. I supervise the construction. You know how I sell the property because I sold them to you. You just have to come up with the money. Okay. So with that said, I was able to get these people on board to actually become a private lender. So big hint here, right? My cash buyer from a wholesale deals were actually my first money partners, because I already had an established, so it was easy. And I had a few of those, but then it gave me enough confidence, and it gave me the experience, and it gave me the quote unquote resume as a real estate investor, that then I was able to go out and get more money. This is why I was able to, in 2001, have the presentation where I got more people on board to give me money. And just to let you know about the potential there, exponentially grew. So that night I had 25 people in the room. 6 of them decided to give me money. My original was I wanted 10. And so I did another meeting a few months later. I got a few more. Then I closed the door. At 10, I closed. Then the word of mouth, it was like start snowballing from there. So all of a sudden I had a waiting list of people that wanted to become a lender. And you say, why would you not take everybody? Because think about it, with 10 people that had the money, so the original people that came with me, first, some of them had big pockets, and second of all, some of them were growing their money because we were doing deals, so they were rolling their money. So somebody invested 50, now they had 75, then they had 150, so they kept rolling their money and growing. So even for me to keep up with my original 10, and then eventually I opened up to 16, then I really closed the doors because I had several $1 million working already with these people. And by the end of 2002, I was doing over 20 fix and flips at the time. And then I was doing 12 plus wholesale deals a month because of this money that was growing. So I didn't need any private money. Now, this went well for a few years. And transparency is super important, because when 2007 happened, and as you know, there was a chaos around the country, right? The mortgage industry. If you told anybody you were in real estate, they look at you like you were a criminal. So it really had a bad rap. And so but 2007 happened, because of my good relationship with these lenders, there was nothing really that happened. It was like, I was very transparent to them. I said, you have two options here. Either you cash out and get whatever you can out of your money. I can even assure you you will get the initial investment, or we're going to hold on these properties as a rental. So about 60% cashed out. They were elderly. They want to wait years and years, and who knows what happens to their money. So about 4% to turn them into rentals. But there was not really anything bad. They were not looking at me like, who I took advantage of it, because of all the transparency that went on along the way. So it was a really good about. That's why it's so important to create these partnerships. And how do you create this partnership? Well, going back originally to the 2001, so the evening I took basically an application from the people. I wanted to make sure they had a certain investment. My minimum requirement was $25,000. Then I raised it to 100,000 a few months later, minimum investment. So 25,000, and then I wanted them to pay a fee, administrative fee. Why would you charge them a fee? It was $1,000 because I wanted to make sure they were serious. Because how many times you meet people, they say to you, "Yeah, sure. When you have a deal, bring it to me and see what I can do." No, I wanted to make sure if I have money there, they're more serious about being actually a lender. I had a no competing agreement. So basically saying that they're not going to compete with me. I didn't want to go to auctions and find them on the courthouse steps bidding against me. The other thing was the confidentiality, right? I wanted to make sure that they were not divulging proprietary information, because during these meetings that we had every month, I share with them, everything, what is going on. I got these properties, everything else. So it was really a lot of sensitive information. So those are the documents I had them sign. And then for every property that I had, which we had several a week, I would send them a proposal via fax, because back then fax were more popular than emails, via fax, and it was a first come, first serve. So if they were interested in investing, they would let me know. And I did that every week for the following week. So by Monday, I knew how much money I had to spend, so I could go to the auctions, I could buy areas, I knew what I had to spend on new properties. And then I would allocate this money for each property. But this is how it seems complex, but it's not, trust me. Once you have a system, it was really simple to run, very smooth. Money comes in and out. And one of the things in this is something that transcends a little bit actually from the strategy. And this goes for money that we're talking about today, skipping the bank, also goes for real estate in general as a business, is that don't make it a big deal. Make it like it's very normal. It's not unusual for you to do that, because a lot of time, you might have a fear, especially if you're new. There's a fear of being an imposter, fear of saying, who am I to go out there and ask people for money? Who am I to do this or that, right? But this is not it, guys. It's normal, making a big deal. Yes, there have been times that I was like, oh my God, there was a deal like caught in the headlight. I remember one time I looked at my bank statement for the business, and in 1 month, over $10 million went through the bank statement. And I'm like, oh my God, the IRS is going to knock on my door. But that's okay. If they had knocked, obviously all the paperwork was there, all the trail was there. But yeah, I mean, sometime you are going to get that shock, but that's okay. But most of the time, think of it as normal course of business. Okay. So that's very important. You do that for real estate. If you think about doing 2, 3, 5 wholesale deals a month, oh, that's easy. I can do that. I can go out there today and get properties, So make it normal. If you're thinking about making $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month, yeah, that's not a big deal. It's normal. And feel it. Feel it when you say it. Don't just say it and just shake inside. No, feel it as you say it. Okay. So, so I want to share this information. I know some of you are requesting PDF, so please comment, even if you watch the replay, comment about getting the PDF. Also, comment here. The more you comment, the more of you are going to win this week's raffle. So I am going to present a raffle here in a couple of minutes. So comment away, just interact here, and we are going to share the raffle with you in a second, which is super cute, by the way. So one of the things also I wanted to mention while I wait for your comments or questions, please ask questions. I can see the chat here. And also, team, go ahead and post any question that I might not see, because I know we broadcast from Facebook to LinkedIn to Instagram to YouTube. So I want to make sure that everybody gets their question answered, no matter what channel. So please go ahead and post in the channel, guys. Hey, Tina. One thing I want to also say, we have the first lunch and learn today at 12 noon. So we are the first lunch and learn. So team, if you want to post here the link for the lunch and learn today, what is a lunch and learn? Oh, this one is the first time we do it, is a mastermind on steroids, basically. Okay. So we're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about strategic plan. We're going to talk about the importance of having a community. We're going to address a lot of your fear, limiting of beliefs, objections. We're going to talk about the upcoming retreat that's coming up at the end of the month. But last but not least, we're also going to talk, and we're going to give away copies of the book. Yes, guys, finally we published. We're coming out at the end of the month. I'm hoping to have the hard copies at the retreat of the new book. So what is the book that took me a couple years to get together? It's a real estate investing women. It's about sharing experiences of women that shaped and influenced my life as a real estate investor. Goes back to some of the women that I encountered when I was in my 20s that defined who I am today. So 4 decades of real estate from me, it came because of some of these women. And then some of them are the ones that impacted later on. Some of them are the impacted Liz. Some of them are the younger women of this generation that are still doing amazing things, and they're barely in their 30s. So it spans about 3-4 decades of experience in real estate from women that shattered the boundaries of real estate investing. That's what I say in the book. So it's an amazing book. It speaks from the heart of a lot of these women, sharing their experience, how they got to where they are. One of the things that I love to do is I like to read biographies. I'm reading biographies all the time. I'm actually listening to a biography right now from the real estate broker of what's called $1 Million Listings. Ryan Seahart. I can never say his name. Anyway, it's the $1 Million Listing guys in New York. So I like to read how these people get from being a broke, starving, couch surfing to being 40-50 million dollars net worth within just a few years. So I like to read that. I like to read biography of important people, and from athletes to Oprahs to anything, because it's a lot you can learn. So this book is about the experiences of women that started from, didn't have a trust fund, didn't have anybody giving them anything, and they have done such amazing things in real estate. So we are going to give away copies of this book in pre-launch, and also we are going to have it at the retreat as well for anybody coming at the retreat. So with that said, keep commenting, guys. We're going to shut down here in a few minutes. I'm going to post a raffle here in a second. So team, can you let me know here in the chat, in our thread, who the raffle winner is? So if you can let me know that. And in the meantime, let me see here if I can get that. In the meantime, I want to show what the raffle of this week is. So let me share my screen. Let's see. I'm trying to look for it. So hold on, guys. Okay. Trying to find out where I can find this here. Okay. Okay, so this is the raffle this week. Is a Skip the Bank giveaway. You're gonna get a baseball cap with "Happiness is Positive Cash Flow," right? And then you're gonna get a Lululemon. I call it fanny pack, but it's a belt bag, whatever it is. Actually, I need one of those. And then we are going to have a wallet here, and there is no bag of cash. Okay. Although, if you come to the retreat, we might give you, where is that? I was given this by Liz, and this is super cool. And I'm going to make sure we bring these at the retreat. These are $1 million banknotes, right? It's good to have. I always have one in front of me. So this is the raffle today. So team, if you can post who the raffle winner is, that would be great. Let's see. Okay. So we don't know the name, but she's from Instagram. It's called Sisterland Investors. Sisterland Investors is the one that won this week raffle. So you need to email in at questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com. Again, that's questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com. Okay. So if she's here, if you can comment and let us know you're here, would be great. You have 1 week to claim this prize. Okay, just 1 week. So you better hurry and do that. Okay, great. So, okay, any questions or anything? Anybody? Okay. So, like I said, we have a lunch and learn here coming up at 12. I want to hear a question from somebody about skipping the bank. I want to hear the best questions you've got that you can ask, okay? You know, something that pops in your mind. I'm sure there's something that pops in your mind when you think about skipping the bank, when you think about private money. Can you think about anything like that, right? So I want you to ask your best question here. And like I said, please attend the lunch and learn. It's starting here in about 30 minutes. And we are going to have an amazing, it's going to be fast in an hour. It's only lunch and learn, right? But we're going to go into a lot of things. We're going to cover some of the, what I call the elephant in the rooms, some of the beliefs and mindset that you might have. We're going to cover about, you know, a strategic plan, what it looks like for you, what you're going to go and what you're going to do, you know, how you can develop in the next 6 months or less. We're going to talk about the community and support, how important it is, creating accountability teams, what you should do with an accountability partner, how it can really help you to move forward. It's always good to have a sounding board and how you can leverage a sounding board to actually grow your business. We're going to talk about all that, and we're going to give some amazing prizes away. So, you know, not only, you know, we are talking about the retreat, and I cannot say enough the importance of being in a room. So what if we could condense weeks, months of training into a weekend? What if you could come to an event instead of say, oh yeah, but I have to travel to Florida and Fort Lauderdale. Well, first of all, you know, what's wrong about traveling on the beach? We're going to be at the Hollywood Marriott right on the beach. So it's amazing. We're going to have a lot of fun right there on the beach. But the thing is, what if somebody told you, you know, just take 2 days, come and join us. You're going to be in a room full of like-minded women. We're going to work in wholesaling, buy and hold, fix and flip. You're going to learn the strategy. We are going to have amazing speakers talking about private money. We actually have somebody that I've known for 15 plus years that she does private money, transactional funding, and all of that. We're going to have somebody talking about AI, artificial intelligence, how it's really booming the real estate business, how you can use some of the tools right now. So I know a lot of you, if you don't want to make calls or things like that, actually they have tools right now that AI can do all the call like that and sound like a human. We're going to have a rep from PropStream. They're going to teach you the ins and outs on how to use the tool. It's going to be in a room, though, where you can get to interact with coaches, with other students that have already taken the business to the next level, and they'll let you know. One of the things I always wonder, if somebody is successful, like Tony Robbins say, right? If you want to be successful, find somebody who has already done what you want to achieve and follow them, and you'll be successful too, right? It seems simple, but you don't think about it a lot of times. So why do you have to reinvent the wheel? Listen to somebody, ask them, how did you do that? You know, how do you have 70 plus rental properties? How do you have 20 plus Airbnb? How do you do, you know, 5 to 10 wholesale deals a month? You know, you ask me, say, yeah, okay, she's been doing it for a long time. It's probably easier for her. in a certain way it is. But as somebody who was sitting where you are just a few months ago and now are doing amazing things and living the life that they want. And this is the point. Real estate to me is not an end to itself. Real estate to me is a tool to have the life that you want, right? Financially, the freedom of time, but also as a challenge. I mean, I love the challenge. I love it keeps you on your toes. It's never boring. It's not a routine. It's not like you're going and punch your clock every day. It's something that changes and it can go exponentially grow overnight. So that's what real estate is about. So that's what the event retreat is coming at the end of the month. We do only one a year. It's called Make It Happen, because that's exactly what it is. It's about making it happen. And like I said, what if you could go, and maybe you have gone through the training, maybe you had coaching, maybe you say, I know all this stuff, but I'm not really doing it. Well, this is a time to come and recharge. This is the time to come and click this reset button and say, you know what? I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to actually go in a room with like-minded women and be inspired and being pushed out the door, because I want to do this. I want to be successful. I don't like where I am right now. And a lot of times we are in a place by default. Maybe we've been there. Maybe it's comfortable. So be prepared to be uncomfortable. Be prepared to push outside of the comfort zone. When you go in a place like where I live right now, is like there is hundreds and hundreds of millionaires. Okay. And it just, you are within the wealth. So when you live around this type of environment and this type of lifestyle, it kind of rubs off on you, right? So you want to be in a room with women that are aspiring to be where you want to be, right? You want to be in a room that is support, because a lot of the time we're around people that don't understand what we're doing, or they don't have our dreams. Because I always say to my ladies, this is your dream. You're not asking for permission to anybody for your dreams. If anything, you're asking for support. And this is what this retreat is about. So come and join us at the retreat. Come and join us at the lunch if you want to learn more about it and have some more practical tips today. Okay, so Tina is asking a question. When borrowing from friends and family, should I give him my suggested term for borrowing as a starting point? Yes, but you always want to have paperwork, and so the paperwork is so important so that everybody knows exactly what they're going to get. You treat that as a business, right? But yes, tell them, this is my terms. Obviously, you want to make it a win-win situation, something that works for you, but there's something that can work for both ways. Okay. So, so that's definitely a good question. Do you have a template for a business plan? We are going to cover some of it during the lunch, Gabrielle. So you really need to come there, because we're actually going to give you a template on, I call it my 3-week template. So we're going to share with you during the lunch and learn today. So make sure you come to that. See if there's any other questions here. Okay. And by the way, you're welcome to bring somebody with you to the retreat. So one of the things you can do when you schedule a call is that, well, you can book a retreat, you can bring somebody with you. And then, like I said, if you do come to the lunch, we're going to explain to you more details and answer your questions that you have about the retreat. Okay, great. Well, thanks, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you in about 20 minutes. I'm going to take a break right now. And I hope to see you at the event at the end of the month. Take care. Okay, there is a question. I'm sorry, I was going to get off. There's a question here from Instagram, so I want to make sure I answer that. How do you increase the profit above a regular rental? I'm not sure I understand the question 100%, but this could be a very loaded question. Because what do you mean by that exactly? You could improve the property to make it a better rental. You could add the BRRRR method, where you buy a property distress, and so you have a lot of built-in equity as a rental. You could make it a short-term rental. so that you can get 3 or 4 times what a regular rent would be. So, like I said, there is a loaded question. So I'm not sure what you mean, but hopefully you can make it to the lunch and learn, and I'll be glad to. We can talk more about it and get more clarification. Okay, thank you. Thanks, everybody. See you.